What are some of the most secret documents that are known to exist? Thousands of documents from World War II were classified and can only be published after 2045. The letter of last resort. In the UK, one of the first things the Prime Minister does on taking office is write a letter of last resort, to be placed in each of the UK's nuclear submarines, that gives instructions to the captain in the event that the government entirely ceases to exist. When a Prime Minister leaves office, their letters are destroyed without ever being opened. I wonder what they did for the Prime Minister whose term was shorter than a submarine rotation. The last sealed file of the Warren Commission. Virtually everything related to the Kennedy assassination has been declassified except that file. It comes up periodically for the president to review the classification. Trump declined to declassify it and made it Biden's problem. Some of my favorites are personal notes that people leave for one another at key jobs. It's a known fact that every former president of the United States has left a note in the desk for his successor. Some of those would be very interesting to read. Also, it's not uncommon for bands, athletes or artists to leave notes for each other before or after performances at large venues. It would be cool to see some of those, especially because there has to be some unexpected crossovers. Payroll for US informants abroad. Those documents definitely exist, but the actual contents of them is definitely ultra super de duper maximum secret. Scotland Yard's investigation into Jack the Ripper is still sealed to the public. John Lennon's FBI file. He claimed that everyone believed he was crazy and that he was being followed in every direction. He was entirely accurate. Nixon was enraged by his potential effect on the nation. Nikola Tesla's documents that were taken away by the FBI after his death. Whatever secret Scientology keeps. The Epstein visitor logs. Documents relating to government spy programs, national defense technology, etc. Coca-Cola formula. The one crypto wallet that has millions of dollars in BTC that's rotting away in a landfill somewhere. Vatican secret archives. I bet the Vatican has some insane stuff in its archives. Like alternative Bible stuff and old church writings. Maybe some originals or something. MKUltra and Operation Northwoods. Makes you wonder what other things your crazy, tinfoil behatted uncle was right about. According to the 2004 documentary National Treasure, there's something pretty important written on the back of the Declaration of Independence. What it was they discovered on Mythbusters that they kept quiet about and then reported to the government. Probably the Bush's baked beans recipe or the Colonel's 11 herbs and spices. All of the journals related to George Washington's culpa spying in the American Revolution were only recently discovered, among a number of papers in Abraham Woodhull's home in Setterkit, NY. We know the names PF all the men in the spy ring and that a woman was involved, but despite its dramatization in the show Turn, we have no idea who she was. The CIA write-up on the Kennedy op. The embarrassing snapshot of SpongeBob at the Christmas party. The blueprints for creation of specific nuclear warheads. I can't tell you where they hide them though, unless I want to accidentally shoot myself 6 times in the back of the head. The MI6 HQ building report, or more precisely the budget report covering the costs of the custom construction that has been largely concealed. It's frustrating since it's only partially complete. For example, a significant amount of money was spent on a necessary MI6 tool that was integrated into the structure and advanced technologically for the time. What is the matter? Although it's still classified, you can see the price and a list of items that weren't included because they are listed separately. The dossier detailing when Cotton Eye Joe came from and his current location. Human intelligence source info. They leak, people will die. Painfully. Whatever was in all of Sidney Gottlieb's personal files from MKUltra. Can't get much more secret than burn. KFC and Coca-Cola recipes I heard are extremely well protected. Mormon, Vatican, and Church of Scientology also have archives that are very well protected. We know they all exist, it's just like only a very few number of people have access. The college playoff process. After reading through these comments, I thought about George Carlin, who took notes after every show. Maybe his daughter will consider releasing them someday. Turns out Cleveland is okay. New York not so much. Just guessing. The data Unit 731 collected. The data regarding the effects of biological and chemical weapons will probably never be released even if they didn't use such inhumane methods to collect them. From what we do know, Unit 731 basically treated all their prisoners as lab rats, running sadistic experiments purely for their own curiosity and enjoyment. I doubt Japan or the US will ever reveal the documents in their possession, since it highlights the brutal behavior of Japan and the blunder of granting immunity for former members of the unit. Hold on. Let me look here, next to this golden toilet. Now that Kissinger is dead, his personal notes and transcripts will be released by the Library of Congress in 5 years. These will detail a large amount of what happened inside the Oval Office from Saigon to Rhodesia. The recipe for Chartreuse. Vatican real contents. Santa's nice list. Hint I'm on it twice. Sigma 14 DOE category for information about scenarios where the security systems that prevent the misuse of nuclear weapons are bypassed or otherwise defeated. Sigma 20 DOE category for innovative or otherwise especially sensitive improvised nuclear devices. INDs allow attackers to break into a storage facility containing fissile material and construct a crude but functional nuclear bomb on site using equipment they've either brought along or repurposed. No need to abscond with the material, just set it off right there and then. Krabby Patty formula. The recipe for green pigment used to make US currency. The much vaunted permanent record. Me and every other kid in school was threatened for having bad things